Hi there, this is Ajit here. In this session, I'm going to talk about the various roles that a test manager undertakes during the project lifecycle. You may say that test manager itself is a role. It is a bigger role. In fact, it is a title under which a test manager transitions through various roles to get the task of testing done. There are some vital roles which he has to mandatorily perform. There are some trivial roles which are good to have roles for him. Before we get into the details of these roles, let's understand why does a test manager has to undertake these roles at all? The answer lies in the V model. On the left hand side of the V model are the set of prescribed testing. Each of the testing relates to one of the development phases. User acceptance testing with the business requirements, system testing or system integration testing with the system design, unit testing with the development. So a test manager's engagement starts right from the requirement phase, passes through design, development, all through the testing till the implementation. All along the journey, he's talking to the different groups for different purposes, different point of time, ensuring that the product quality is building up and there's no compromise to it. And that is the reason he transitions through various roles as well. Let's start with the vital roles. His first such role is that of a testing SME and the testing architect, which is where he is expected to come up with two important testing artifacts, test strategy and the test plan. Test strategy is a comprehensive document with a lot of details into it for the overall testing efforts of the program and the project. As SME, his experience and expertise is leveraged to finalize the applicable test phases and testing types within that. Testing phases like CIT, SIT, end-to-end and ORT, and testing types like functional testing, regression testing, exploratory testing, on the non-functional side, security testing, performance testing, browser compatibility testing, and so on. Test data, whether the handcrafted data will do or a production cut will be required. If the production cut is required, he is supposed to abide by the organization's policy for data dispensation and data depersonalization. That's where he has to clearly check out the process in the test strategy. Test tools and the environment, ALM tools, automation tools, TDD and BDD tools, or any other tools he has to identify upfront. And that is the case with the test environment as well. The another important testing artifact is the test plan. If the project is small and is having just one and two applications, he can write the test plan his own. But if there are multiple applications being tested, in that case, every application will have a test lead, and these test leads will be writing the test plan. The overall accountability of these test plans will lie with the test manager. He has to ensure that test plans are written thorough with a primary focus on the high-level scenarios of the scope and the testing approach. Rest of the details in the test plan will be flowing down from the test strategy and elaborated further. The second such role for him is that of project manager. He is a manager for the testing activities. Like a normal project manager, he'll be coming up with a project plan in MPP or Excel sheet, clearly outlining the software testing lifecycle phases, milestones, activities, resources, their cost, and the critical paths. He is expected to produce estimations on three different stages: stage 0, stage 1, and stage 2. Stage 0, when the requirements have been rolled out, he comes up with plus minus 100% or plus minus 80% of the efforts. Stage 1, where the requirements have been signed off and designs are evolving, he comes up with plus minus 30% of the testing estimates. Stage 2, when the requirements have been signed off, designs have been signed off, there's a lot of clarity what need to be tested, he comes up with his final testing estimate with plus minus 10%. Now these percentages differ from setup to setup and organization to organization. Reds, all through the journey, is maintaining a red log, which is where is clearly highlighting the risk, issues, dependencies, and any assumptions being made by the team, with a clear honor and the resolution date. Status reports, he produces daily status report, weekly status report, or any other ad hoc reports. These reports are normally very lengthy because they do contain a lot of details about the defects. Matrices. Apart from the normal project management matrices like schedule variance and cost variance, he comes up with other testing specific matrices also, like defect rejection ratio, defect removal efficiency, percentage defect leakage to the UAT, defect density, testing effectiveness, cost of quality, and so on. Stakeholder management. To remove the blockers from the testing And to bring an absolute clarity on the testing progresses, he engages stakeholders different point of time and talks to them. Team management. He selects the team, he onboards the team, he trains them, and he manages them to achieve the testing milestones. Budget. End of the testing, he compares his actual spend against the forecasted budget and is responsible for any profit and loss there. His third such role is that of analyst, which is where he is involved in three types of analysis: requirement analysis, impact analysis, and a defect analysis. Requirement analysis, when the requirements are rolled out, he gets into the shoes of a business analyst to thoroughly understand the requirements and tag any questions and concerns there. And this is very important because if the requirements are clarified at that stage itself, it leaves very less scope for retesting and the defects. Impact analysis. Throughout the project lifecycle, there will be many change requests or CRs being raised by the customer. These CRs will come to the test manager also. Test manager will analyze the overall impact on the testing scope and the efforts. Defect analysis is expected to keep an eye on the overall defect spectrum, at least for the critical one, so that he can pitch in, help the team to analyze them and seek the faster resolution from the development team. The fourth such role is that of a testing team himself. On a larger chain of stakeholders, there are directors, program managers, development project managers. He stands as a testing team POC. So his conduct, attitude, and modus operandi certainly matters. As a testing team POC, he brings accountability for the overall testing efforts and the quality of it. He brings necessary transparency in day-to-day testing operation by producing status reports and engaging stakeholders in the conversation. He brings his own personal commitment and commitment from the team to meet the testing milestones and maintain the quality of the deliverables. Bottom-up intelligence. He regularly engages his team in brainstorming to ensure that the new ideas are coming out on innovation, process improvement, and they challenges back the faulty designs and the requirements. Let's talk about some of the good to have rules here. These are the rules which, if the test manager undertakes, not only contribute to the project but also adds up to his effectiveness and knowledge enrichment. Defect manager, which is where he can leverage his coordination and analytical skills. Test process consultant. On a large scale project where multiple applications are tested, it becomes very important that the testing artifacts are produced with the same quality. And that's where the role of a test process consultant emerges. He sets up the processes, templates, and regularly audits the project. A test manager can take over the role of a test process consultant. Automation SME. If the project is small and a test manager is having some automation background, he can leverage his skill as an automation SME and save some cost for the project. So that's all about the various roles that a test manager undertakes during the project life cycle. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know your questions and feedback. Stay tuned.